Alright, so let's talk a little about the Cavaliers. I don't know if I made videos about it. I'm not sure how many videos I made, but it's about going the way I thought. We lost to the 76ers tonight, 108-97. And, there's deep-seated issues with this team, and those deep-seated issues are called Tyronn Lue. and Tyronn Lue didn't go anywhere when we traded for all these new players. And not only that, but if you look at it, the new players are average players. Jordan Clarkson, if you look at one particular advanced stat I saw, which tries to, I guess, judge players by their defense, offense, and decide if they're good, give them a rating. This advanced stat had Jordan Clarkson as being a slightly below average player. Rodney Hood, a slightly below average player. And George Hill, a slightly below average player. Now we had Larry Nance Jr., a slightly above average player. But all those guys are right around average. So it was funny looking at Skip. They tore out of the gate, and we tore up Boston, and in Boston, I got as excited as anybody. And Skip Bayless on First Take was just talking about no more excuses for LeBron. And I'm like, what is he smoking? These are average to poor players, and you're saying no more excuses? Part of the one thing I did kind of think after the trade that kind of scared me was like, what's left? Kevin Love's was injured at the time, and is injured. I don't know how good Kevin Love is really anyway. But let's say he's your second star player. I mean, it's the Cavs are officially now LeBron and a bunch of cast-offs, basically. I mean, we no longer even have Isaiah Thomas. I mean, you can debate back and forth how good Isaiah Thomas is, or if he's awful, or whatever. And I'll get to him more later, because all of a sudden he's doing okay on the Lakers, which is once again a direct reflection on Ty Lue's coaching. If these players can go elsewhere and do well. But still, it's like, okay, it's LeBron, Tristan Thompson, J.R. Smith, Jordan. It's LeBron and a bunch of just very average. That if you just took LeBron off that team, they'd be a bad team, very poor team. And you can hype up the trade all you want. Oh, it did us so much, but that's where we're at. At least before we had LeBron, Kevin Love, and you could, in theory, say Isaiah Thomas was also a star. It didn't work out in Cleveland. I think that probably is mostly due because Ty Lue is so bad, But at least you could say you had three kind of star players. Now you have, granted Kevin Love's injured, but you have LeBron and nothing, So it's come full circle to where there's a real problem in Cleveland. The talent's just not there, Okay, and we got the pick. The pick is currently 7th. About the worst it can fall to that I'm seeing is 8th, because there's a big gap between the 8th and 9th teams. But I don't know how much that's going to help, and I don't think LeBron's going to be around. My thinking all along, I agree with anybody, I think it'd be stupid to think LeBron knows where he's going right now, because what a lot of people will tell you that, I don't think even LeBron knows. The reason he doesn't know is because we don't know what the Cavs are going to do. If they have a great playoff run, and I don't know what it would take to get LeBron to stay, because I don't know if losing in any fashion would get LeBron to stay. Maybe if they lost a brutal 7-game series, let's say to the Warriors. If you lost a brutal 7-game series to the Warriors, you get to the Eastern Conference Finals, you win the East if you're the Cavaliers. You get to the finals, and you give Golden State all they want, and you lose a brutal, tough 7-game series. I don't even know for sure if that would be enough to get LeBron to stay, to be honest. I can't say. Maybe, maybe not. Anything less than that gets dicey, if we lose in 6 games, But it's looking like we might not even make the finals. And what kind of help is LeBron going to be getting? All you could do in Cleveland is getting darker and darker as to what kind of help you get. All you can do right now is package Kevin Love and maybe the pick, which will probably be the 7th pick or the 8th pick. It's not that high. currently. I mean, you could get lucky, but most likely to be 7th or 8th pick. It's not that crazy good. So it doesn't have a ton of value, you know. So you package the pick in Kevin Love for something, but what, you know? I don't know if you could get Anthony Davis or somebody, you know, probably just him, because, you know, I don't even know if Kawhi Leonard would be, maybe Kawhi Leonard, you know, okay. Those are about the two guys that, you know, you assume maybe are unhappy where they're at. But really, I don't think even Kevin Love and let's say the 7th pick are enough for those guys, you know. They sure aren't fair value on the dollar, that's for sure. Now, what else do the Cavs have? They don't have anything, you know. Like I said, whether you want to blame Kobe Altman or Dan Gilbert, whoever you want to blame, the team is at the point where we just have a bunch of very average players. You know, I'm sorry, Jordan Clarkson's average. Everybody wanted to hype him up after the trade like he's Michael Jordan Part 2. He's not, you know. Like I said, the advanced metrics will tell you he's a slightly below average player when you take into account his defense, his offense, and everything else. There's a reason all these guys were coming off the bench. That was another red flag when we made the trade. All these guys were coming off the bench. I'm like, Lakers are like a significantly sub 500 team, and we're trading for a bunch of guys that are coming off their bench. Couldn't even start for them, you know? It's not like they're a great team and those guys were coming off their bench. So yeah, there's issues, and they've got huge contracts. And you know, I even saw one commenter talking about how the Lakers fleeced the Cavs, which was kind of the opposite after a couple games of because he was like, normally if you want to get rid of money, which is what the Lakers did, getting rid of Clarkson and who's the other guy that got rid of? They get rid of Hood and Larry Nance Jr. So normally if you want to get rid of huge contracts like those guys, you gotta send the first round pick. And the Lakers somehow got away with. They sent the money away, and they got the first round pick from the Cavs. You know, that's unheard of. So he's like, they got you know, the Cavs got fleeced, really. Lakers made out like bandits. And I think there's something to that. But anyway, just wanted to. So I've been hearing more talk lately on podcasts and stuff about where LeBron could go, and the 76ers is becoming a great option. Oh, about where LeBron's going and like what's going to happen as far as we got to see what he does. Like I say, now I think if he wins the championship, he definitely stays in Cleveland, most likely. I mean, I don't know. To me, the future's looking so bleak in Cleveland. We just don't have talent, you know. This trade's sealed off. At least say what you want about Isaiah Thomas, mercurial, terrible player. I think mostly he was a terrible player in Cleveland because Ty Lue's a terrible coach. But he was a star, you know. At least you had 3 stars at that point when they were healthy. You had LeBron, Love, and IT. Now you're down to 2 at most. And Kevin Love is kind of barely a star, you know. You're just getting to the point where there's just no talent anymore, you know. It's LeBron and like 12 guys. Besides Kevin Love, who's injured right now. And even he, like I say, I go back and forth on how good he really is. So yeah, I don't know that, and like I said, how are you gonna get talent in the offseason with the, you know, okay, you're gonna have like the 7th or 8th pick, probably. I mean, hopefully it goes higher, but and Kevin Love, who probably has next to no trade value around the league because everybody can look at him and see he's not really that good. So, you know, like I say, you package Kevin Love in the 7th pick. What are you gonna get? Maybe you get Boogie Cousins. I don't know. Is that enough? You know, what if he just gets injured again? That kind of thing. But yeah, I listened to some podcasts lately, and there seems to be increasing speculation that LeBron's going to the 76ers, and I really like that. I think it's his best move for a lot of reasons. I think he needs to stay in the East because the fact is the West is loaded with. The West is not as good as it used to be, but now you've got Houston being up there. You got Golden State. San Antonio is a system team, just like Boston is with Brad Stevens. You know, they don't really have the talent, but they got Popovich's system, and that's why they win a lot. You still got to worry about them, and, you know, they could pull something off, get another player or something. They still got LaMarcus Aldridge, at least. Kawhi Leonard could come back. You got OKC in that conference. They may break up after this year, but right now they're strong. You got Minnesota, who's kind of like, to me, Philly and Minnesota are very analogous to each other. They're almost exact mirror image of each other. Very young teams loaded with young talent. Minnesota with Wiggins and Karl Anthony Towns. Philly with Embiid and Simmons, of course. And so, I mean, you look at the West is still significantly tougher in my opinion. So I don't think LeBron's going to want to go there. So yeah, I think 76 is looking better and better. One of the reasons they're looking better and better is they're winning. When earlier in the season when they weren't looking that good, you wondered how good they are. They're winning lately. They beat the Cavs tonight. They're looking good. And not only do they have all the stuff that they have, they also got Markelle Fultz. I mean, he was the #1 pick in the draft. If he could turn into something, wow. And here's some of the rumors I was hearing. Now, my thing with my problem, so to speak, with LeBron going to Philly was always Philly's basically Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid, right? Now, the whole Ben Simmons and LeBron play the same position. I think that's overrated. I think good coaches overcome that, and Ty Lue can't overcome that, like with IT and LeBron, problems between IT and LeBron both being ball handler, because he's a terrible coach. But you see, people were saying there would be the same problem in Houston with Chris Paul and James Harden. They're both ball dominant, on-ball guys. I thought the whole time, no, because D'Antoni's a good coach, and he'll figure it out, and they'll be awesome. And look what happened. And so I think that, you can probably say, oh, LeBron and Ben Simmons play. The 76ers have a pretty good coach. I think his name is Brett Brown. So they're not going to have that problem. I don't believe they will. I believe Simmons and LeBron can thrive. But, that's one issue. People say Simmons and LeBron essentially play the same position. But the main issue I had is Embiid is a 7-footer who's going to be injury prone. And you just never know if he's just going to have an injury and be out for the year. So what if he had an injury and is out for the year? Then the 76ers have Simmons and nothing. I mean, they've got some decent role players and all that. I don't really know their names. I haven't focused that much on Philly. But so that was kind of my issue with Philly, is they're one injury away from being Ben Simmons and nothing, Yeah, if you can count on a healthy Embiid, then that's awesome. Now you got 2 superstars. And then you got LeBron coming in. But here's what some of the podcast people were saying, like, okay, what if Paul George comes in there too? I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't know that was a possibility. I still don't. I don't know how the salaries work out. I don't know all that complicated stuff. But if you can get Paul George, LeBron, Embiid, and Ben Simmons on the same team, to me, you could put those 4, and with good coaching, because that's what LeBron's never had in his career, other than Spoelstra, and he won 2 titles in 4 years with him. But you put all those together, and excuse my sniffling. I've been sick for the last week and a half. Although it's getting a lot better now, thank goodness. Still some remnants. Well, thank God. But yeah, I mean, I like the move to Philly at the end of the day, because you still got Fultz coming back. You got. And if you could get Paul George, can you imagine Embiid, Simmons, Paul George, and LeBron? And that would be the first team since the Warriors got together. And I would love to see that happen, because I think what the Warriors did was disgraceful, and I would love to see it shoved in their face. So you couldn't tell me that Embiid, Simmons, LeBron, and Paul George wouldn't be a team that could stack up face to face with Golden State, player for player with Golden State all day long. I mean, that would be an awesome. I mean, I don't see anybody who doesn't love drama in the NBA wouldn't support that. I mean, just like from a paper game, that'd be incredible. LeBron, Embiid, Simmons, and Paul George, and maybe Markelle Fultz against Durant, Steph, Clay, and Draymond. What a matchup, Talk about drama, and that'd be awesome. So just to say, and just to say that I think the 76ers are becoming an increasingly awesome choice. I think LeBron will definitely want to stay in the East. He's kind of hinted that, and he's smart for that. I think the other places he could go to Houston, which I think would be a pretty good move, except now you got to fight through the West. And another problem with going to Houston is it pretty much depends on Houston's got to lose the title this year, which it's looking like they may not. But it's hard. It's hard to go to. I don't know why. It doesn't really make sense, but it's just like if the Golden State Warriors had won the championship that one year, everybody's saying Durant wouldn't have gone to them. Now, Durant being such a wuss, I don't know, he may have anyway. But it's like there's some sort of unwritten rule or something. You can't go to a team winning a championship because then, if the team won the championship and LeBron joins them, then all they can do is do worse. The best they can do is do as good as they did the year before without him. I guess, like I said, it doesn't really make logical sense, but there's kind of like an unwritten rule that, like, if a team wins a title, a big superstar can't go there or something. So, like, if that's going to be one of the issues with Houston is they seem to have a real good chance of winning the title this year, in my opinion. I'm one of the people, like, thinking they really have a better shot than you'd think. And so, I think that Houston has a real shot. And if they win the title, it's going to be hard for LeBron to go there. And again, I don't know how the salaries work and all those things. I know there was one guy on the podcast talking about how it's impossible for LeBron to go to Houston because the salary numbers. Oh, he's full of junk. You can always make it work if you need to. But and then the third destination, the Lakers. I think that the Lakers are looking stronger lately. Also, for the same reason the 76ers are, is winning. That's the key. And okay, they've won 4 in a row, and it's funny, everybody gets all excited whenever the Lakers, and it's kind of like, simmer down, you won 4 in a row. And I saw Isaiah Thomas was doing pretty good tonight for the Lakers. He had 29, I think, and led them to the win. And it's just like, okay, so if Isaiah Thomas starts doing well on the Lakers, it's going to be yet another really, really bad reflection of why Ty Lue. He looked like the worst player in basketball history under Ty Lue. But anyways, the Lakers, they've got a little 4-game winning streak, which again is kind of like simmer down, 4-game winning streak. Only the Lakers get excited about a 4-game winning streak over bad teams, or only the country would only get excited over the Lakers having a 4-game winning streak over bad teams, But whatever you want to say about it and jokes you want to make about it, they're looking better. Things are looking up a lot, and for the Lakers, and that's key. Just the whole positive trying to sell thing. Same with the 76ers. A big reason they're looking more attractive to LeBron is they're winning. Same with the Lakers. I earlier said the Lakers just don't have the talent. Ingram's not that good. Lonzo Ball doesn't look that good. So what have you got? I guess there's this Kuzma guy. I don't know a lot about him. And then you'd have to have LeBron and Paul George come in. But is that enough around them? I don't know. But it's looking a lot better now because they started winning. Now, when they start winning, you start going, oh, Brandon Ingram, he might be pretty good. Oh, Lonzo Ball, he might be pretty good. And everything just looks a lot more rosy. Winning in sports cures everything, so to speak. And so we'll see. But I wanted to say this. One of my main overarching thoughts on wherever LeBron goes is that wherever he goes, he's going to have a decent coach again. Because I think out of those 3 scenarios, because I think Brett Brown's a good coach in Philly. I think Luke Walton's a good coach in LA, and I think D'Antoni's a good coach in Houston. So wherever LeBron goes, he's going to have much better coaching than he's had. And I think that's the key for all the LeBron haters that need to be scared of. Wherever LeBron goes out of those 3 teams, it's going to be a vastly better situation than Ty frickin' Lue. And, back to the whole Cavs. So LeBron haters, you ain't got a lot to look forward to. But because wherever the 3 teams he goes, he's going to be better off. I'm very positive about that. Now back to the Cavs, yeah. So we are what we are. I don't know why people thought, we get these 4 cast-offs, all of a sudden we're going to be great. No, you see that the same problems are there. The last win we had over Brooklyn, where we beat them 129-123, at home. That was just an exactly Ty Lue type of win before the trade. Barely hanging on to beat a team we should crush, for starters. Giving up an obscene amount of points to them. We gave up 123 to them. Those kinds of things. And you saw it, just there it is again, you know. That's a typical Cavs win this year, you know. Barely beating by a couple points, you know, a bottom feeder, terrible team at home, you know, all those things. So, yeah, that's what I would say about the Cavs. You know, but they're 4-3 now. I think with this new players, you know, that's what we are. You know, we've been a bad team for years under Ty Lue. We were 51-31 last year. You know, we're getting worse and worse in the regular season the longer Ty Lue coaches, and he was never good in the regular season. You know, well, Ty Lue had one great playoff run. That's what he had, and he lucked into that because we know we didn't deserve to beat Golden State that finals. So you know, he objectively was a worse coach than Blatt, who was ripped apart. You know, Blatt lost one finals without Love, without Kyrie, and still took 2 games. You know, Lue had all his guys, and yeah, he won the final, which you can't take away from him. But come on, that was 9 times out of 10 the Cavs lose that final, and everyone says even to this day they weren't the better team. I heard them discussing that on a podcast the other day. Somebody said like, who's the better team in that series? And they're like, well, Golden State was. And, you know, even to this day, people know that the Cavs were not the better team in that series. So, anyways, I've been through all that before. So, just some thoughts on the Cavs, how we're doing, how the Ty Lue problem didn't go away. You know, we got all these new guys in that we're now a whopping 4-3 with them. You know, it's about what you'd expect. The same problems that were there before, there now. We don't have much talent. You know, like I said, it all depends on the playoffs now. I think if LeBron goes and win the championship, he'll probably stay in Cleveland. I don't even know if he would. Like I said, just looking at this Cleveland team, there's no talent. So if I'm LeBron, I look at the landscape and I seriously think about getting out of there, even if we win a title. But if we win the title, is going to be the key. If we win one, I think he'll stay probably in Cleveland on another 1 year. Here's the thing: he can do 1 year deals all day long, so why not? You know, he can do a 1 year deal with Cleveland, a 1 year deal with Philly. He's not locking himself down anywhere, So that's a big positive for him, you know. If he goes to Philly, it's not like that's a big decision that has to be permanent. He can go to the Houston the year after that, you know, if it doesn't work out in Philly. But, so yeah, that's my thoughts. Ty Lue's still a terrible coach, and if you thought, you know, a bunch of cast-offs like Jordan Clarkson and Rodney Hood, you know, a bunch of B-level, C-level, off-the-bench guys are going to turn this team around, come on, you know. I wanted to believe as much as anybody, more than anybody. You know, I wanted those to be this fairy tale. Those guys come in and re-energize the team, and they're good. And you know, those other teams didn't know what they had, and we're kicking ass now. You know, I wanted that so bad, but back in my mind, I always knew like let's see this for a few games, and let's see how it holds up after the initial adrenaline rush. And sure enough, it hasn't. And sure enough, we're now 4-3 with this group. And anyways, we'll see how it goes.